Hey guys, this is Healthy Life Designing. I'm Darian Rolls. Today we are in Granville, Ohio. As you can see behind me, the view is insane. It is so gorgeous, crispy fall leaves, and we have a super fantastic guest today. Her name is Samantha Stearns. She is the owner of Songbird Transitions. She is going to be sharing what her business is about and how they are helping seniors downsize. And we are actually here at one of the homes that they're working with. But if you want to learn more about Samantha and Songbird Transitions, stick around because she's going to be joining us when we come back.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Okay guys, we're back. We are here with Samantha Stearns. She's the owner of Songbird Transitions. Thank you so much for being here today. And oh my gosh, if you guys could even feel what we feel, because it is so gorgeous where we are. The air is crisp, the sun is not really shining, just a little bit so we can have some light, but take us back to where this all started.
Well, Songbird Transitions began when we didn't even realize it, to be totally honest. My husband and I were downsizing my mom and dad. So they had built a home, lived there 18 years, and my brother and I were both out of state at the time, but they were kind of hoping to move to northern Michigan. They had a cottage on a lake, and they weren't quite ready for retirement, but knew that the house was too big. You know, my mom actually had a motorcycle accident that made caring for the house a challenge, you know. And so Luke and I volunteered to fly home and help them process their home. And so we did that, and it went really well. And after that, we had moved a bunch of friends and local, you know, family, and all of a sudden we were like, hey, we're kind of good at this.
Yeah.
You know, and I happened to meet a woman, a dance student of mine. Her mother was a senior downsizer, and she was like, you guys should do this. You guys would be great at this. And at the time, Luke and I lived in Denver.
Okay.
And we always knew we'd want to come back. I had our first son, and it was like, all right, let's get back to Ohio and let's start this business. And so here we are.
And you started the business about 4 years ago?
Yeah, so when we returned to Ohio, I was pregnant with my second son. And so we did a lot of the planning. We, you know, got our LLC going, all of the logistics, you know, the state logistics, and we had a lot of conversations with my mentor out in Denver, Diane, and she was, you know, just kind of greasing the wheel, getting the ball rolling, you know. And then as soon as I had my second son, I had my first client. And so I just, you know, dabbling in what, maybe I can do this, you know, as soon as I get back to work, you know, from being a stay-at-home mom. So yeah, then we did that, and then the goal was that we'd be rolling by the time my second son was in kindergarten, and that happened a lot faster than we expected.
So can you tell us, you know, the Songbird Transitions?
Yes. Because
I think the name is such a unique, really cool name. There's just something just soothing and soft about it.
Thank you. The name is near and dear to us. We, when we left Ohio, both my husband and I are from Ohio, and we left for about a decade. And when we first came back to Ohio, we were standing in the front yard of our new home, and we noticed the songbirds. I was like, I didn't realize how much I missed the songbirds when we lived in Arizona, Boston, Denver, and there's just something about Ohio Songbirds. And my grandfather, I was very, very close with my grandparents, and my grandfather loved the birds. My dad loves the birds. And so it just really connected to our purpose, and we ran with it. And that transition obviously is about what the chapter, we're kind of relocating folks maybe after they've lived somewhere for such a long time, and that we just help with this little transition.
So can you talk us through the different services and maybe a little bit in detail with each one?
Okay. So every client is different. Every process is different. Everyone's lived in their home for a variety of years. Could be 2 years. It could be 40. We had someone live in their house for 63 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, from the second they were married.
That's tough
I
too.
know.
Letting go and moving on to something else. That's tough.
Yeah, that was a tricky one, But everybody accumulates stuff. People are always like, my parents are hoarders, but they're not. They've just lived somewhere a lot of time, and you accumulate, during that time. And so we help families select what they want to take to their next location. And a lot of times we're moving families to independent living facilities or assisted living and even memory care facilities. We do help empty nesters. We help people go from a home they've lived in for, a couple decades, and then their kids are gone. They're off to college, or they've left the nest, so to speak.
Nesters.
Yes, empty nesters, and they want to downsize to a condo. So we help families that are, young, that are doing that process,
right.
And we help seniors, that are moving maybe to their that location they plan to spend the rest of their chapter, And so we help them space plan, and we call that we select which furnishings they're going to move to their new location, the stuff that they hold near and dear and that's also functional for them.
So do you have a system in place for that? I mean, I've seen a ton of organizing shows where they go in and do makeovers, and they have a person to help with this and help with that, and a tote here and a tote there.
So I always say this is not organizing, this is downsizing,
yes.
right? Because there is a difference.
Yes.
There really is.
Yes.
And we help folks prioritize what they love the most and what will keep them safe. So we're always thinking about walkways, and we're always thinking about accessibility to the restroom. I know that seems crazy, but I'm thinking about pathways not having any tripping hazards, So when we space plan with families, we want to know what's essential, and we want to know what they love and hold most near and dear. And then we kind of look at where they're headed. So the floor plans of units. And some of the facilities that we work with, I had the chance to design the model. So I really know what fits, and I know that an entry wall is 88 inches long,
Yes.
It seems crazy.
Certain things need to go.
Yes, and certain things will fit and certain things will definitely not fit. And so we help them kind of figure that all out. And then we manage their move from start to finish. We handle the packing, the actual move management, and then the unpacking. So we set up the space for them completely. A lot of times we do a reveal, and they, have their artwork that they have had forever. It's not interior design. I'm not an interior designer, I'm an interior redesigner is what I, tell people, because we want them to feel comfortable. We want them to feel familiar, and our favorite thing is when a client walks into the room and then they say, this feels just like home. And then my job is that's what gets me right, right in my heartstrings.
I wonder, is there some really big houses, someone that's lived in maybe a 5,000 square foot home that downsized to, maybe something that's 1,500 square foot?
Yeah. So once we've relocated exactly what they want and need, then we can go back to the house, and we call that our estate dispersal services. So that's where we can work with a family and we can sell items that we think are worth selling. A lot of times we donate items, and one of my favorite partnerships that I've just recently established is with Fostering Further.
Yes.
So Fostering Further is an organization that connects me to social workers for youth that are aging out of foster care. And so a lot of times, and then I have a youth that we're trying to furnish this week, and he has the clothes on his back and he has a television. And so we are going to get him a sleeper sofa, a place, our bed, a kitchen table, chairs, an end table. That child deserves a chance to feel like he's home too. And so it's been this amazing chance for the seniors clients that we're helping, or any of the families that we assist. They love donating to somebody just starting out, and a lot of times they don't have anything,
right?
And so that's another thing that we can do as we go through that estate dispersal, and we try and donate as much as we can. We try and give things a second life, as I like to call it,
It's like recycling.
Yes.
You don't want to just throw it out.
No way.
It needs a new home.
Right.
Just needs a new home.
It just needs a new home.
Right.
And I always like to think about that. This stuff doesn't like collecting dust. It wants to be used,
right.
Like it really does. And I know people hold on to stuff for sentimental reasons. But when we have a chance to say, I know somebody who needs this and they need it right now, they don't have anything else. That gives them, fuel, to be excited, and they love knowing that. And I love being that middleman,
Well, and you probably feel like you become part of their family, because it's such an intimate relationship, I guess, that is formed over the time period.
Mm-hmm.
And what would the time frame be from beginning to finish? What's your average time?
I wish I knew.
And does it vary
Yes, it really does.
significantly?
Yes, so it depends on if we're doing all of our services. So if we're doing that senior downsize, that move, if we do the estate dispersal, and then we even have home sale preparation services, and that's where we can power wash a deck, or we offer repainting. We can repaint rooms to freshen up, because if it's been lived in for 40 years,
right.
a lot of times it looks original,
yes,
And
yes.
so we help families. Our guys do that work too. And so I like to say that we want to put that home's best foot forward, and so we get it market ready. And if they want all of those services, because our services are a la carte, people pick and choose what they need, and then we build that timeline. So we could work with someone 2 days. We can come in, pack, move them, be done.
Oh, wow.
Like we want to disrupt that senior's routine as little as possible.
Wow.
And
that is awesome.
Other times it's a long couple months,
right.
And sometimes it's even, we work for 4 months, because we work in small increments. We don't want to wear them out, and
right.
just go there for a couple hours, downsize a little bit, and then come back in a couple days, kind of thing.
What about your travel? Is there a certain radius that you guys try to keep in mind,
yes,
or is that also something else that?
No, I mean, in full transparency, we stay within like a 45-mile radius. We go down to Lancaster. We are in Reynoldsburg. We are up to Mount Vernon. We haven't had many clients east. We tend to head west. We've been into Upper Arlington, Powell. I mean, we do travel to make it happen,
right. We're going to take a quick break right there. And when we come back, Samantha and I are going to share a little bit about a passion that she and I both have. And she also has something that she wants to share that they recently celebrated, so stick around. We will have more when we come back.
Fairfield Medical Center took care of me like I was family.
I was made to feel like I was the only person that they were going to see that day, even though I knew that wasn't the case.
Everyone at Fairfield Medical Center was very attentive. They just put my mind at ease.
I was there for 12 days, and I felt comfortable there.
We were people to them, not a number. They took the time to get to know us, our personalities.
Well, they saved my life. How do you beat that?
I don't know how I could have gotten through it without them.
Experience Fairfield Medical Center.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference.
It's a hometown bank. It's located here in Fairfield County. Branches are convenient. They're located here in Pickerington, where my office is. I'm in Lancaster a lot, and they have plenty of branches there. And I much prefer dealing with the hometown banks rather than the larger nationwide chain banks.
So far, everybody's been so personable, and for us to bank with the local bank, and we bank in Lancaster, it's been so wonderful, because we'll call somebody, Steve will call somebody, and they'll get back to us right away, or they'll say, okay, we're going to make a decision in the basement tomorrow, and they'll get back to us, rather than calling a bigger bank where we had to wait, and we didn't always get the same person the next time we called for a investment banking opportunity, or getting something appraised, any of those kind of things.
Everybody is very customer friendly. A lot of times I'll bring my dog Bear with me, and the staff love him here, and of course he loves them and the treats that he gets, so it's just a nice kind of a family type environment.
Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey guys, we're back. This is Healthy Life Designing. We've been catching up with Samantha Stearns. She is the owner of Songbird Transitions, and it has been so wonderful. But another thing that is really wonderful is that I learned about Sam that she and I both had a passion, still have a passion for Pilates.
It's true. It is so true. I taught Pilates mat classes for 10, 11 maybe. I don't know how. I lost count of how many years we did it, and I taught in the universities and then at a pre-professional ballet school out in Colorado, and I taught at Denison for a little while here and at Village Core Fitness in Granville,
Which I think that says a lot about you. It may be about me. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe. People that teach Pilates, it's a very intimate form of fitness, and a lot of people don't understand that, and you really have to like people. There's a lot of touching, there's a lot of cueing, and it's another intimate relationship with people, and you have to want to help people. And so I think that it's really great that, it says a lot about you too, that you've always kind of had this heart to help people.
I never imagined, I always loved helping people, it's life-giving in that way, but I never realized how much I would love Songbird until I was doing it, and I've always loved seniors. I was deeply close to my grandparents, I mentioned that earlier, and it just gives me a chance to connect, and a lot of families don't live in the same town as their loved ones anymore. That's not the norm anymore. And so that's another reason why the business exists, because families that are out of town need help and helping with their parents, and they need
And it's so stressful. It's so stressful for, the children of the parents.
Yes.
If there's a bunch of siblings and everybody's scattered everywhere, who's helping mom and dad, or just mom when they can't do things on their own, and then that's just a whole different story.
Yeah, and it's amazing to have a point person to worry about the stuff, and then the family can worry about their parents, and that's when the moves go the smoothest. You know, it's usually if you could take care of your mom and dad, or just mom, or your aunt, whoever the loved one is, if you can focus on the person, we will take care of everything else. That's so important. And even though that human connection, like you're talking about, is exactly what drives our work, we know that by worrying about everything, we're really helping someone in this process.
And it has to be really fun, I would think. There has to be women that have to be a little bit like me, that it might be such a huge stress relief knowing that all this stuff is going to go away. It's going to go into the hands of somebody that can really use it, and they're being helped by somebody that truly cares about their well-being. But I would think the whole transition, whether you're helping design a new space, that I would think that it's a little fun too.
We laugh a lot. We like, and what's really fun is to celebrate the stories, our clients' stories we've never heard before. Everybody has their own story. And so my team is amazing. I love my team, and they are so good at about celebrating the stories that our clients want to say versus their kids are like, Mom, I've heard it 1,000 times, but like not us. It's brand new to us, and we enjoy learning about them, and we love celebrating what deserves to be celebrated in their life,
Which you have something that you've celebrated recently as well.
Yes. We recently completed our 100th senior downsize, and always
Congratulations.
Thank you. We were super giddy about it. I got balloons for our clients and
That's
everything.
great.
They were like, oh no, here she comes with those 100 balloons. But we, it made it all that more sweet, and everybody was able to have a really good time with it. But I always say it's more than just a move, and I always say when we celebrated our 100th move, I don't like to say that. I like to say we celebrated our 100th senior downsize, because it's more than just a move. We talked about our services, and people need help with this specific move, this particular downsize, and it was really fun to do that. And we're getting contacted from families beyond our reach. So friends are reaching out. We had friends reach out to us in Florida and in the Carolinas and Northern Ohio, a place that we don't service, and they're like, how do I get started? What do I do? What should I say to mom and dad? And so we want to fill that need, and we're planning on doing that. We are launching like a video series tutorial that's free to subscribers, and we can give them our tips, our procedures that we have in place, so that sometimes families don't want somebody outside, but they don't know how to do it. They've never done this move before. I have a client next week, and she's like, I've never moved my mom. My mom's always been in the same house.
Right, my mom's always moved me.
Yes, exactly. Mom's moved me, grandma, the same thing. And so we want to give that information to people and tell them, these are the steps that we follow. This makes it efficient. This keeps it fun, lively.
Organized.
Organized. Here's what we do, and we want to share that, across the country, so that people know what to do if they aren't hiring help, if they're not hiring a senior downsizer. And so we're really excited about that. And then in the spring of 2021, we are launching a course, How to Downsize Dad.
Wow,
and it's going to be a step-by-step guide. This is what you do to make this happen.
That is perfect.
Because we want to help as many people as we can.
Oh my gosh, I can't even think how overwhelmed it would be. I mean, I know one day I'll be in that situation, and I think my family jokes, we have a lot of land that, maybe I'll just move a house or build them a house in the way backyard. I don't know.
A tiny house.
But but still, it takes a lot of planning and organizing, and I don't think, I'm going to guess that most people would not know where to start.
Right.
And the overwhelm and the stress, again, everything that was mentioned before that comes along with that.
Yeah.
And
I think a lot of people have different opinions about what that should look like.
Yes.
And so we want to share what works. We've done this for 4 years, and it's been a wonderful 4 years, but we've learned a lot along the way. And so rather than worrying about learning along the way, when you're doing this one move for mom or dad, it's like, okay, these are the steps we want to follow to make this happen, and it's going to go okay.
Right. There is one thing that I wanted to ask about the organization that you donate to. Mm-hmm. Have you guys ever been able to be in contact or have known any of the folks that you've been able to help out with your donations?
So the foster youth that we are assisting are anonymous, for we see them and we furnish their home, but we don't have names, and it's almost there's some beauty to that. Mm-hmm. I thought for sure, I was like, I want to know this kid. I want to know that they're going to be all right, and I want to know everything about their life. That human connection. But stepping away from an apartment that we've set up for a kid, there needs to be at that moment of that it's enough. You know what I mean? And we can.
You did your part.
We did our part,
let's
and
move forward.
Let's set it up, and let's find somebody else who needs help too.
Right.
And our senior clients, sometimes we snap a photo, and then we pass it on to them, and they love it. And a table they've been holding on to for 50 years, even though it's in the basement, they love knowing that that's some kiddo's kitchen table.
Yeah.
And they have a place to eat, because otherwise they would be sitting on the floor.
Gosh. And we are actually sitting outside of one of the homes that you've been able to assist with.
Yes. So we are at my friend, I call her my friend now, Sandy's house, and she is getting her home. She built this house with her husband and their family, and they are getting ready to put it on the market. And so we came in and we had a bit of downsizing to do to kind of clear the space so that she could list it, and they're getting ready to downsize. They're empty nesters, you know, and they have this gorgeous
It is so gorgeous.
property.
Yes.
I know, I just, the views I can't get over.
It is gorgeous.
But yeah, they've been wonderful, and they are just another classic example of they become family to us. You know, I text her on Wednesday nights when I know she's been out. I'm like, are you home? What's going on? Are you okay?
That's great.
So it's just, it's a
blessing. Treasure, yeah.
Yes. Yep, they're all blessings to me, all of them.
And we've got a little bit of time left. If there's anything that comes to your mind that we haven't covered, could you share that information?
Yeah. Another thing that we have launched recently is, we call it Songbird Stories. And that is our blog. And that's a place for people to go to maybe realize that they're not alone in this process. I share a lot about my own family and my own experience in our story, but we also touch on client stories, you know, that we've had in the past, and people are like, maybe they can connect to that, they can relate to that. And so that's another place that we'd love to see people and assist, you know, with this whole process. And we record it, so if it's an audio file that they'd rather listen to it, it's kind of podcasty in that way, you know, but if people prefer to read it, they can too. And
just give them a little insight.
Yes.
On a deeper level. You have a few different social media platforms.
Yeah.
Could you share some of those if people want to kind of see more of what you're doing?
So most of our following is on Facebook. We have a Facebook business page, Songbird Transitions. We also are on Instagram, and then our website, you know, allows people to see Songbird stories. And we have, if you subscribe, then we give email. We email when we have a new blog that's left the nest, as we like to say. But also that's how we can get people, if they want to have that free web series, the tutorial, if they want access to that. You know, we're downsizing a closet, we're downsizing a basement, and we're downsizing a storage unit.
Those all sound juicy just for me.
Yeah, I know. So that was our motivation, is, you know, a lot of people that I've asked, how should I get started? And I tell them, well, have you tried to downsize your closet? Have you practiced what
I did recently.
Yeah. Practice what you're about to preach, you know, what you're going to ask your parents to do. And so that tutorial is for everybody. It's not just for people that need to downsize their mom, because I think we could all revisit our closet.
Oh, yeah.
And we could all revisit the basement, right? Or that storage unit. So that will be where they could subscribe and gain access to that series. And then obviously we'd have that course launch coming up in the spring.
Well, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
I've loved learning more about what you're doing, and oh my gosh, incredible things is what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
And I love, like I said, the name of your business and everything that's behind it is just awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So much.
That is all that we have time for today, guys. Songbird Transitions, Samantha Stearns. Check out their website, and if you need any other information, she's got a ton of different social media platforms that you can check out as well. Until next time, we will see you soon. Thanks for watching.